here. I'm making a quick little presentation, just 15 minutes of your time. Really good back to be here. Really good to be back here. I graduated from Foster, class of 2024, also the MSIS program. So today we're going to talk about the company that I work for, prediction markets, what we're building, and what the next 5 to 10 years of this industry looks like. And from the perspective of someone who is a consumer and a professional in this field for the past 2 or 3 years. So, quick something on me. Again, I was Foster MSIS, class 2024. I was a student in Frank's class, just like you guys 2 years ago. Class was a lot bigger though, I'm not gonna lie. It was like 50 people, something like that. But it's cool, it's cool. So me and Frank had a special connection from back in the day because first of all, we're both Chinese. Second of all, we both grew up in a small town in Kentucky called Lexington. And we actually went to rival high schools.
Yeah.
So he went to Henry Clay High School, I went to Lexington Catholic High School.
Ooh.
See, no, every time we would have every time our school plays against each other in football games, there's always a fight.
Yeah.
It's like just drunk high school students fighting each other in the middle of nowhere in the countryside of the United States. That's what you love, right? Boozing a little bit on a Friday night, fighting each other. So now I work in Seattle, but I go to Las Vegas all the time, and I work in the sports gambling industry. And I run the engineering department at a startup called TechTakes, and our two sister companies, Venatics and A3s. So I'm gonna walk you through a few things, the journey that got me here, the company that we're building, and how you can be a part of it this summer. All right, so here's a quick introduction of me and some of my more important past experiences. So my first big boy job was I worked at TikTok, ByteDance. I worked in the product engineering. I did the EHI department at Dali Intelligence. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dali Intelligence. They were under a lot of scrutiny back in the day because we were collecting, of our user data. We're building a very deep and creepy personal profile on all of you guys. So, now that I left the company, don't install TikTok, it's a terrible company. So the stuff you hear on the news, it's completely true. That's what me and my team did at Dali Intelligence. And then I went to the MSIS program, and after I graduated, I was a machine learning engineer at Scale AI. So what I did was we did frontier model evaluation, we did post-training pipelines, and I think it was last September or October August, I think, is when Meta acquired Scale AI for some $28 billion or something. And then after they acquired us, the company culture shifted a little bit, and then they were inserting people that worked at Meta into different teams at Scale, and I wasn't really messing with that, so I left, and I joined TechTakes as when I first joined, I was a ML architect and web app architect, but now I'm the chief technology officer. So I just want to point out that every previous job I had was secretly preparing me for this one. So recommendation system that I did at ByteDance are prediction problems. The model training that I did at Scale AI is collaboration and data pipelines, and they all collapses into what we do now. All right. So a lot of people end up in industries by accident, but I didn't. So I was a sports fan since I was 6 years old, and then on top of that, I was gambling with my cousins in China on the probably Frank knows, on sports games when I was 12 and 13 years old. It's small money, but the obsession started early. So getting to come into work every day and build the math behind what I love to do and just the industry that I'm passionate about. With the technical foundation that picked up at University of Washington. So I went to undergrad at UW as well. I had a statistic undergrad and I went to MSIS. So with all this, it really is a dream come true for me. And then, this is where we started. So when I first joined TechTakes last year, we had two sides of our company. So on our B2C side, we worked with sports books like DraftKings and FanDuel. We built lines and projections for them. So we were helping price the markets that retail users bet into. Let's say, I don't know if you guys are sports fans, let's say Team A plays Team B, we tell DraftKings and FanDuel what the line should be. Should it be like plus 200? Should it be minus 300 for a team A, team B? That's what we did. On the other side, on the B2C side, we're also selling picks for our subscribers. So we ship daily picks for different sports like NBA, baseball, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, whatever, and then we tell our consumers what to bet every day so that they can make profits. And so on top of that, we built something interesting because before, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kalshi and Polymarket, before Kalshi and Polymarket came into the market, sports gambling is not legal in every state. It's only legal in about 13 to 14 states, and it's not legal specifically in Washington state. So we built an automation system where you can deposit money into our wallet and we'll place picks based on your AI for you. So I wouldn't say it's not a casino account, it's not anything related to gambling, it's an investment vehicle, right? So that distinction really matters, and that's where this whole story is going. Okay, so for the last 24 months, our portfolio return is plus 381%. That means if you invested $100 in our automation wallet, you would have $481 left. And it's not a hot streak. So our AI is hitting 65.4% of predictions with a Brier score of 0.091. So what a Brier score is, it measures the accuracy of probabilistic forecasts. So anything prediction you make that with a probability. Let's say, again, with the team A and team B analogy, if team A plays team B tonight, and then team A has a 80% chance of winning, that's a prediction with a probabilistic forecast. So for those of you guys who are interested in math, the Brier score is calculated by the mean square difference between the predicted probabilities and the actual outcomes. For context of our Brier score, so it is the average crowd forecasters for the models in the market is about 0.149. For example, Sports Radar is a famous one, and then there's a few other independent ones that they run on what is the website called, Radar Sports, I think it's called. And then elite human super forecasters, like the analysts on ESPN that you see, or the experts that work at DraftKings, FanDuel, they have a score of 0.023. So they're actually a lot better than us, I'm not gonna lie. So we're sitting in between the market and the professionals, and the gap is closing every week. All right, so there's two things that give us the edge, and these are the things that me and my team personally built. So first is the calibration loop. So every prediction we make eventually results, right? So if we go back to the team A and team B example, eventually the game ends, it results. So we would use that prediction to feed that back into the model within the logistic regression layer. We trained our own history, correct systematically bias before every output. So the system literally gets smarter every single day. And on top of that, we have extensive knowledge graph. So we have 15,000 entities and 62,000 relationships. When the AI evaluates the market about, let's say, if we go away from sports, let's say federal rate cuts, that's something you can quote unquote bet on Kalshi and Polymarket, right? So it doesn't just see the market price. It knows Powell, which is the government official that's related to this case. It knows Powell connected to the Fed, and the Fed is connected to the rate policy, and that maps to a specific Kalshi contract. That's what a knowledge graph is. So it connects all the related entities to each other. And that contextual reasoning is something nobody else in the space has. All right, so here's what changed the past 18 months. So like I said earlier, one of our key features was our automation feature, where you deposit through cryptocurrency to a wallet that you have. But now with Kalshi and Polymarket being more and more mainstream, sports gambling is legal in every single state in the United States. So our automation feature doesn't really make sense anymore because everyone can just place picks based on what we're recommending. So we're moving away from that recently. So since every US resident in any state can now legally trade, let's say whether the Dodgers win tonight or the Lakers are gonna win tonight. And our entire reason of existing on the consumer side, which is the wallet automation workaround, is obsolete. So we pivoted. We're white labeling our product to different companies so they can do marketing for us. Because we are still a startup. We're Series B right now, so we raised about $10 to $15 million. But we're still a very small company, and we don't have a lot of people that does marketing for us. So we're just skipping right to the tech. And we're moving up the stack. So we're leaning more towards the Kalshi and Polymarket side and the B2B side. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a little introduction for you guys who are not familiar with this, what a prediction market is and how is it different from the casino. So, how many of you guys here have been to Vegas or gamble? I love that. I love that. I know you've been to it, Frank. That's crazy. All right. So, whatever game you play, blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat, pai gow, whatever it is, the house always wins. What's your game of choice, Frank?
It's always, oh my god, it's always Hold'em or it's just go to the slots.
Yeah. See, so,
because I can't do it. Like, I actually lost too much off of blackjack.
Yeah, I feel you. Me too. But so unless you're playing poker, while you're playing against other players, the house always wins in the casino, right? But so on the left, you're betting against the house sets the price, and the house has a built-in margin. And if you start winning consistently in Vegas, they'll ban you. They'll be like, you can't play here anymore, and they'll limit you, or they'll limit like how much bet you can place per bet, and they will change the price. But what's different about prediction markets is that it's just an exchange. You're not betting against the house. You're betting against other people who disagree with your opinions. So you're trading against people who think you're wrong. And the platform itself, so Kalshi and Polymarket, the platform itself is neutral. It has no stake in the outcome. So the difference between it's pretty much the difference between Vegas or like these sports books and like the New York Stock Exchange, right? Same activity, you research on what the outcome is, and you put money on it, but it's a completely different game. All right. If you're at this point, you might still be a little, skeptical, right? You still think, oh, like this prediction market is still new, like maybe like it's a scam, maybe. But let me tell you who else is paying attention. So 89% of Americans think we should have access to prediction markets. 79% think that states shouldn't be allowed to block them. This is a bipartisan support. So for both Democrats and Republicans, agreeing in something in 2026, honestly, it blows my mind. So in February of this year, the Federal Reserve published a research paper studying Kalshi as a real-time macroeconomic forecasting tool. So the Federal Reserve. And the entire space is regulated by the CFTC, the same body that oversees commodities, gas prices, electricity prices and all that. So when the Fed is taking your asset class seriously enough to publish a research paper, you're not in the fringe industry anymore. This is really the future. All right, so here's what our company's building for the summer, and this is what, if you choose to work with us and intern with us in Vegas, this is what you'll be building. So this is what we have. It's a BNX terminal, but for prediction markets. So this is what we're spending most of our time on. Think Bloomberg, but every market is a prediction market. So we have a 4-stage architecture. We ingest 12 live data feeds. So Polymarket, Kalshi are the two main data feeds that we got. And the Federal Reserve's economic data is one of our other data sets. And then GDELT for news, which is for sentiment analysis. And then Pinnacle Lines for sports. And we run everything through a 4-model AI ensemble: Cloud, GPT, DeepSeek, and Gemini. And we calibrate against our own track record. And we surface all of it in real time. And I guess this is a cybersecurity class, I believe. Cybersecurity class, I believe, yeah. Right? So this is for this class specifically. The entire system is designed around CFTC rule. So there's no execution layer, no private key. We hold no private key. And then we just give personalized advice, right? So every output is framed as standardized analytics. So we're not trading for you, we're a calculator that gives you advice. And we remove the regulatory attack surface architecturally, so there's nothing to attack. And I can actually show you what our prototype looks like right now on my laptop. So this is live, we're testing this every day. Oh, I guess this is our site, this is our gambling site. We have picks for you every day, and that graph right there you see is our automation. So I deposit like $200 about a year ago, and now it's at 673. So if you want to make some money. So this is our terminal. So it tracks every single thing that's happening around the world. Politics, economics, wars, everything that we do. We're tracking it. We make predictions on it, and you can trade on it on Kalshi. So this is live right now. It's app.vanoffice.com. So if anyone's interested, feel free to use it because it's completely free to use right now. We're not charging anybody anything because we're still in very early stages. I was asked at an investors meeting about 2 weeks ago in Vegas, and this is one of the things we presented to them. So yeah, back to the presentation. All right. And I guess that leads us to what you guys can help. So we have 4 roles open through the summer of 2026. So the first one is an engineering role, AI system architect. So it's on-site. This one's non-negotiable. You have to be on-site in Vegas. We provide housing, but we don't provide money for the gamble in the casinos. So if you want to go spend money at hotels, that's none of our business. But we do provide housing, and it's paid. It's you'll be building the tools that I just showed you just now, and it's real-time prediction engines, LLM powered tooling, full stack production. This is the role that I really hope existed when I was in your seat, when I was doing my MSS program. And next one will be more sales related. So it's growth and planning partnerships. You'll be reaching out to people that are interested in our private fund, in our terminal, and working our white labels. So this is commission-based, the sales role. And that wouldn't be something that you'd be contacting me about, but I can get you guys to talk to the right people. The next one is the UI UX product design role. It's end-to-end UI products for our terminal, for our private fund, for our websites. So if you have good UI UX design principles, if you think the things you built in the past can stand out, hit me up. And the last one is a brand experience events intern. So this will be, if you're a person who lights up a room, you'll be the face of TechTakes, you'll be the face of Vanoptics at events in Vegas, at conferences in New York, and ESPN, events in Boston, or Nike, Adidas events in Atlanta. So stuff like this. So that's what you'll be doing if that's the role you want to do. And if you're interested, so my lovely friend Courtney there, if you're interested, she has a pen and paper right there, and just write down your name and email, and then I'll reach out to you personally about specific roles you're interested in. And then next, since I have this platform, I want to just give an introduction to something that I'm building and say something inspirational. All right, so before I open up to anybody have any questions, so I've been in your seat now today. So I'm sure you guys are doing a lot of networking, right? You're talking to C-levels at startups, you're talking to VPs at Accenture, VPs at BlackRock, whatever. And a lot of them will say, oh, they're a self-made man. That's what a lot of them will say. But that's not really true. That's not how I see it, and it's never really like that. There's always somebody in your life, a coach, a teacher, a parent, a friend, whatever it is, a partner, who really believed in you before you had anything to show for, before you had any proof, before you had any right to ask for anybody to believe in you. And they believed in you anyways, more than they believed in yourself. So when you remember that, the whole perspective changes. When you work hard, when you stay up late, when you ship that last thing, when you push that last line of code to production, when you're trying to be the best version of yourselves, it's never to prove the haters wrong. It's to prove those people who believed in you right. Right. So I'm an example for myself. Back in the day, I was eating ramen noodles like 4 days a week. I was eating McDonald's every weekend for dinner. I had like $4.15 in my bank account. There was nothing impressive on me. Nothing. I had no press releases. I had no company yet. I had no conferences to attend to, and so no proof that I built anything. But the people that believed in me, Courtney's one of them. She believed in me back in the day. She believed in me before I had anything to show for. And Frank was one of those people as well. So 2 years ago, I was sitting in the seat just like you are, and Frank, someone who told me that I could build something real. So if you take anything away from today, If you're not really interested in working for tactics, if you're not really interested in prediction markets, that's completely fine. But I just want you to know, if you want to take something away from today, so find the people who believed in you before you had a reason to be believed in, hold on to them, call them, and then go build something that proves them right. Thank you guys.